Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 weirdest characters in-game. So the other day, we took a look at the creepiest characters. Now we're going to be looking at weird. If you have any suggestions that you think I should have had on this list, let us know in the comments down below. But with all the way, let's jump into this and let's get it started. Our first character today is Blind Man Cassidy. So throughout the world, and he'll actually spawn in 18 potential places, you'll find this blind man on the side of the road, and he'll be asking for money. Now, what's interesting is you can actually prove that he's blind. If you go up to him and aim your gun at his face, he's not going to flinch, which to me indicates that he really is blind. He can't see. And if you give him $1, he'll actually tell you a fortune. Something that apparently will happen to you in the future. Mine was pretty dark. It had something to do with fields of fire and the devil or something along those lines. So I'm not too sure what to make of my prediction, but if you find Blind Man Cassidy, it's probably worth your time to go up to him, visit him, and put $1 in his cup because he will tell you a pretty interesting fortune, and that to me is pretty cool. So if you find this guy, check him out. But it's also pretty weird that he is either can tell the future or knows things in the future, but is also blind at the same time. So pretty weird. Character number 2 today is Homeless Vet Mickey. So Mickey is a Confederate soldier, Union soldier, I think, and he only has one arm. You can actually find him in Valentine, and his story is pretty weird, let's just say that. He basically says he hasn't had a friend in a long time, and he said all of his friends have died and it wasn't his fault. He also asked Arthur a very weird question if he can hold him for a second, and then they have a very short hug in public, and that's it. It's kind of awkward. It's a little bit sweet at the same time. This guy also says that they used to touch each other like that in the army, which was kind of weird. So I don't know what's going on there. But that is Homeless Vet Mickey. You can find him in Valentine in a couple of different locations. Weird character number 3 today is Btrim. So Btrim can actually be found in a Stranger and Freak mission at Van Horn Trading Post. If you go into this saloon, you'll actually find Btrim talking to this lady. And Btrim is a giant man who looks to have like a crushed or a flattened forehead. I don't know what's wrong with Btrim, but apparently he's a part of some act that this lady puts on. And he's also apparently addicted to sherry, as he ends up trying to strangle the bartender for more. And you actually get in a fight with Btrim as well. You have to beat him up, which is really crazy. And I don't know what's wrong with Btrim or what his situation is, but I mean, just looking at this guy, there is something really weird going on. So apparently he's an entertainer for some freak show or something like that. I really got no clue, but that is Btrim. That's the first character. And then in this same mission, you can actually find our 4th very weird character today, and that is a midget magician named Magnifico. So Magnifico is very disgruntled. He is unhappy being a part of this freak show. And this guy, when you try and catch him, does like a disappearing act where he'll throw like colored smoke on the ground and then vanish off into various different places. And you actually have to go and chase after him. You basically get on this like wild hunt in order to track him down, which is a little bit frustrating, but also very kind of fun at the same time. You're just trying to catch this very short magician named Magnifico. So I'm assuming the show they do is Magnifico and Btrim or something along those lines. You eventually catch Magnifico, or Btrim, I should say, catches up with Magnifico. So those are your 2 characters that you can explore in one mission. Needless to say, those are some of the weirdest characters in Red Dead Redemption 2. Weird character number 5 is Tim Donahue. So Tim Donahue can be found in Saint Denis, and he is actually trying to sell a book on the side of the street. That book is called The Irrefutable Guide to Instant Riches. So basically what this guy is selling is a get-rich-quick scheme in the form of a book. And what's funny is he actually offers Arthur a chance to buy the book, and the book is $50. Now, there are some books that you can buy today that are $50, and while that's expensive, it sort of depends on the book. $50 for a book back in the day, in 1899, that would have been like $5,000 or $15,000 for a book. Just some insane price. And what's actually funny is you can come back a day later and actually ask for a refund because it is a get-rich-quick scheme that this guy is trying to throw on the citizens of Saint Denis. So that guy's pretty weird. His name's Timothy Donahue, but he apparently is trying to get Arthur rich quick. Our next weird character is Professor Norris Forsythe, who is also in Saint Denis, and this guy is a white supremacist. He hands out a pamphlet saying how white people are under attack, and Arthur basically calls this guy an idiot, saying how he knows people of all races and how he's seen dumb people and smart people of all different shapes and sizes. So, good on Arthur here for being the better man, but this guy is just crazy. He is shouting all sorts of nonsense. And it's funny because his pamphlet tries to explain why something like that is right using real science. So you should definitely check it out. It's one of the more interesting stories. He actually runs off and you can chase him down if you want. But I decided to read the pamphlet, so I ended up letting him. Our next weird character is Anders Helgerson, who is a recruiter for the Celloyan cult in Saint Denis. And Anders is trying to convince passerbyers to join his ranks and will offer you a pamphlet if you try and talk to him. Now, what's interesting is if you've gotten past chapter 2, you might already know of the Celloyan cult. It's like the turtle worshippers that can be found on the top of the mountain. We're actually going to be talking about them at the end of this video. Now, what's funny is I think this is Rockstar's version of the Epsilon cult, but in Red Dead Redemption 2. It's like a weird, funny parody of a religion or something along those lines. It's basically a version of the United States or America where, everyone is safe in a bubble. It's quite strange. And if you listen to him and, if you actually listen to the pamphlet he's got, it's pretty interesting. You can actually find him in the middle of Saint Denis as well. There's a lot of weird people in Saint Denis, which is what I'm figuring out from making this video. Moving on, our next character can be found in Rhodes next to the general store. This is Joe Butler, a Civil War veteran. He is a one-legged former Confederate soldier. And you can actually give this guy $1 as well, and he will start to talk to you. And he basically says how life in Rhodes is terrible thanks to the Greys that moved in. If you guys are in Chapter 3, you know of the Greys and you know sort of what they've done to Rhodes. So his story is kind of interesting. You can interact with him on multiple different occasions, and he can actually still be seen in Epilogue 1 as well. So if you made it to Epilogue 1, go back and see this guy because his story changes a little bit too. Moving on, our next weird character is Big John. Big John can be found in the Valentine Saloon between 12 p.m. and 6 a.m. He's an old, drunken frontiersman, and he can be seen ranting in Valentine's Smithfield's Saloon. And if you listen to him and stay close, he will eventually attack you. And this guy is shouting a whole bunch of nonsense. The best part about this is the fact that you can get his super cool raccoon hat on top as well. The raccoon hat is one of the coolest things in game, and it's the only place in the game in which you can get it from this guy. So all you have to do is beat him up. Really, the only thing you really have to worry about is getting a bounty, but if you can avoid that, you can get yourself a pretty rare item, which is sort of cool. Also in Valentine, weird character number 9, you can find a constipated man in the Valentine Saints Hotel. So in room 2A, on occasion, you will see the door is locked and you will, let's just say, hear a man struggling to use the toilet. Now, sometimes you can actually open this and you will find a man on the toilet, but in this case, you just have to listen from the outside and you can clearly see that someone is not eating enough fiber. So you can find a constipated man in the Valentine Hotel. That is pretty funny.
Oh, come on. No man deserves this.
Our final weird character today is the Celloyan Master. So this weird character gets even stranger after Epilogue 2. This is the leader of the cult that worships turtles, and you can actually witness him jumping off a cliff with his followers. It's the same cliff where you rescue Jamie during the mission We Loved Once and True. So the reason you want to come back after Epilogue 2 is complete is that's where you can actually witness him jumping off the cliff. I guess that's like some requirement from the cult is you have to do that. Or maybe it's just Rockstar once again making fun of cults. I'm really not too sure. But anyways, that right there is 10 weird and strange characters in Red Dead Redemption 2. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Which of these characters did you think was the weirdest? Let me know your thoughts down there. If you did go on to enjoy this video though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily Red Dead Redemption 2 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.